so that was not a pass-through problem with the Xbox muting the microphone. That was a complete problem. I had to go and unplug the Xbox and the television and then plug them back in to get the audio back on. Oh, what caused that? That's crazy. Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy days. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. Sometimes this technical stuff I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Pink and green bodysuit. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go online. Let's see, solo session. And as I said earlier, no complaining. This is gonna be no complain Monday. I did enough for that for Sunday and Friday. Or Saturday, whichever one it was. I can't even remember. It was Saturday. No complaint Saturday. I mean, Monday. No complaint Saturday. I wasn't on long for Saturday. I think it was 100 and something minutes. I was on quite a bit Sunday, but it wasn't worth nothing because I was being aggravated. And I was a bit aggravated. I was complaining about it. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Might not like it, no, but don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Sometimes it's hard to find happiness. Do you know, I signed off from that stream last night. And I'm about through with letting others decide my fate. You see, I'm only miserable when others make me miserable. The only thing I can think of, their lives are so miserable, they gotta make everybody else's miserable. You know, a lot of people, they pill their problems and drink their problems and do all this and that. Me, I just tough it, and if I'm screaming, I'm shouting. If everything's coming out, I guess that's just the way it is, because that's just with me. I handle it. But at the end of the day, I do live through it. Thank the Lord Jesus. Thank the Lord Jesus. Don't worry. I ain't about to get a pill either. I'm about to start drinking. That ain't gonna help my life any. If anything, it might make things worse. A lot of people rent their lives on that junk. Hurt their livers. Made themselves physically sick. Don't worry. Be happy. But I wish I had some money. If I had me some money, when I got fed up with this place, I'd head on out. I might return home just to keep them from running me away from home, because I think that's what they're up to. I think they're trying to run all the original people off. And that very street has our family name in it. On my mother's side. Not my father's side, which is my name. But my mother's side. Because her people and some other people owned a lot of this property around here. They named the street after them. I would probably stay. But if I ever had to leave, I'll just have to choose to leave, because I wouldn't be able to leave and stay at the same time, because... but if I had money, I'd stay. I'd have me some getaways. Because I think that's really what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to put us here like they did the Cherokees. That's what I really think. And I don't think I'm too far off the mark. That's why I identify with that song, y'all. I loved it the minute it come out, but that's before it even really started rolling. I mean, it was bad then, but it's 50 times worse than what it was back then. Do, 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 do. Too many broken promises. Too many tragic tears. Too many times you were left cold for all so many years. Too many times you walked away and was made to feel ashamed. And though you only tried to give, you were often blamed. God. Oh yeah, you was singing Fallout.
Hey, what's happening with it, pimp? You know who it is. It's
You're
your boy LD.
roaming the flatwoods.
Hey, I know we ain't chopped it up in a minute, but I got a homie that needs something. And y'all just might make a perfect partnership. Let me read this thing. Looking for a professional operative to co-manage private intelligence business.
And I'm not talking about the people per se themselves. I'm talking about the ones that flooded them here. They're just trying to find a better place to live, so. I still think the best way to do that is legally. I'm talking about the ones behind it. How'd I get in the closet? I guess I'll have to move her. I have these kind of issues sometimes. Especially the stick. Here we go. Like I said, no complaints today. I don't want that. I want to just want to change her top, her jacket. Yeah, there's her pink jacket. Yeah, we're gonna put her pink jacket on. Decide on asked of you to conquer all our fears. Let them soar like eagles across the trail of tears. Come on. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Strength to give me a good day, Lord. Bless this day. Don't let it be a cursing. Like our Mother's Day was. Let it be a blessing, Lord. My mother had a freaking headache. On Mother's Day. 70, she's turning, what is she, 77? She had to deal with that on her freaking Mother's Day. My ears are like I've been at a freaking concert. In my own home, by the way. We're not talking about at the concert that you choose to buy a ticket to. We're talking about something I had no control or say over. And all the police can say is, we're sorry, there's nothing we could do. Oh yeah, you could do something. You could either make them turn it down or shut it down. They do it all the time. Fire marshals can shut places down if they violate the fire codes. You can either make them turn it down or shut it. And I'm complaining. Shut up, please, Lord. Don't let me go there. I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying. My ears shouldn't be hurting in my own home. And now we're going to go back to the regularly scheduled program. No Complaint Monday. I mean, I feel like I've been at a concert. And it was hours. But I downloaded each hour. Some videos from each hour. Because I'm thinking about taking it to court.
What's wrong with her now?
Because he ain't going to settle down. Because we done tried that 2 years before COVID. And then the real reason I hadn't already took it to court was because of COVID. COVID shut down everything, including his concerts. He got absolutely hateful with my sister. But she called and complained. Talked to her like she was a dog. And he's invading our home. We're not invading him. I mean, you ought to have some decency, but none of these people around here have any decency. And Complaint Monday, no Complaint Monday. Butterflies and daisies, come on, baby. But when my ears is buzzing like I've been in a freaking concert, and I didn't even go to this concert, just sitting in my own home, by the way. I don't think nobody'd like that. I really don't think anybody would appreciate that. Even people in my audience. I don't think nobody'd appreciate that. Okay, let's see.
Some days, I feel like I'm living in paradise, you know what I'm saying?
Watch yourself.
But I did keep the evidence. Because it went on from... They started the sound check at noon somewhere around there. Somewhere around the noon span. Unfortunately, it pulled one of its little stunts where... It does this from time to time. I don't know why it does it. Some things don't archive. You only got a few files from that hour. It pulled that hour, but I got every other hour. We complained then, they turned it down, and then as the evening got down, they started turning it louder and louder. But I knew that's how it'd be, that's how it's been in the past. I mean, there was this one year right before COVID, I was watching WWE. I had just turned that pay-per-view off because I could not hear my TV for his whatever event he had going on. So I just had to turn it off. I turned it off. One, I couldn't concentrate. I didn't even try to watch any of my preaching. I normally get up on Sundays and watch preaching. I didn't even attempt because I knew I wouldn't be able to concentrate anyway. So I just sat down in front of the game and mostly complained. Actually, they can do something. When they can drive around and find... I mean, you can plainly tell this. You could plainly check that out and find out exactly what the amps you need that won't disturb everybody. I'm sure I wasn't the only one around here. I'm going to try to keep this as out of the complaining. I'm just going to talk about it, not complain, because I didn't want this to be Complaint Monday. Area around it. But he don't want to do that. I think he kind of wants to disturb. The way he talked to my sister, I think he wants to disturb people. And that makes it nebulous. I think he literally wants to disturb people, is what I really think. I mean, I could hear the freaker through the phone when he was talking to her. And as you know, since my mother's name is on the street, her relatives from her family, you know she's been here. Her family's been here since then. So we're just not Johnny-come-latelys. We're just not Johnny-come-latelys. Her mother's side people is on the street, my grandmother. They're literally on the main highway that goes all the way up and down up to the interstate up here. Up to that drive, whatever it is, that bypass. That I've hated ever since they built that thing too, by the way. That was a nightmare. We should have all protested that. We probably should have got out and blocked them from doing it. But I was a little kid, so I couldn't have done anything. I was just a kid, is Elton John song. I was just a kid. That's why I always voice my problems when I got them. Because a lot of people sat back and they didn't say nothing. And that's why we're in the vote room. And I don't care where I get ostracized, called names, whatever. When I don't like something, I voice it. And I don't care whatever they call me. Because people sat back and just let these people do this stuff to our towns and our countries and everything else, and didn't protest or didn't say nothing. And now we're in a living nightmare. We're in a living horror movie. Joe Biden going on about that, and I better shut up. This is I'll just have to do a podcast on that. We'll talk about that on the podcast. About him calling Trumpers extreme. They're vocal. That at the White House, that at the Capitol was staged. How come that didn't go on for 4 years? That right there is a sign telltale it was staged. I mean, them causing trouble. Nothing that bad ever happened. I mean, that's your sign telltale it was staged. Trump rallies went on for years there. No riots. You can always tell when something's staged. It has a smell and scent and look. And that's, like I said, that's podcast talk. Podcast talk. I ain't done one lately. I gotta get started again. Especially after that bullshit I put up with yesterday. You know what? Any proceeds I win from that, I'm going to give some of it to Alex Jones. I'm going to go give it to Infowars.com. If I do sue, I'll have to pay my court costs, of course. May even donate some to Trump. Of course, now if you lived around Trump and Mar-a-Lago, you don't want to live there either. I've heard he's bad. Lord, I'd hate Trump if I was around him. I've heard he's bad. I've heard that the whole people can hear him. So I probably wouldn't donate none to Trump just for that. Of course, you can't never tell about any of these documentaries. They lie about everything. I don't trust anything the media says. No complaint Monday. She's got the weasel truck. She's got the weasel truck. She's chilling with the weasel. If it was enough, I might try to buy some place to get out of here. Of course, then the Social Security account is resources. And then I had to put that a end to that because I got to have my money to live off of. They do you that way, by the way. Canada's resources. That ought to be illegal. Your Social Security is earned. Social Security is earned. And I didn't work for it. My daddy did. Who I'm on now. I was on my mother when I was on disability. That's earned. It's like an insurance policy. It's sort of like you're working and building a nest. Is what it's supposed to be. And there shouldn't be no reason that it should be cut out for anybody. And though it ain't other people's, and it's not for future people. When you put in your Social Security, you're putting in for you. For you. And if you have people that you have, say, a wife or children that were disabled before they turned 18, they're entitled to it as well. It is. That's what it's an insurance plan. And you hear all these idiots talking all the stuff. You have all these idiots don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Even high-grade people, I've heard bullshit from. It is an insurance plan for your retirement, and when you work and it comes out of your check, you are building up you're not building up the community's check. You're building up your retirement. I can't believe idiots don't realize that's what it is. And it's not a handout. It's not like food stamps. You're actually paying for your retirement. Or your wife or children that were disabled before 18. Now that's how it was explained to me when I went and signed up for it. That's how my guy worked, but he wasn't an attorney, he was one of them other things. What do they call them? Paralegals. He was one of the paralegals. He was a paralegal. I dealt with a paralegal. I didn't hire him as a full attorney. He was a guy my mother worked with, and he became a paralegal. And he'd help people get their Social Security. You'll hear people, you'll hear family members and people on the radio and all people everywhere talking bullshit about the Social Security plans. And it's your retirement. Now there's one guy, he's a preacher. He did explain it. He's the only one I've ever heard of explain it how it is. His name was Peacock. He was telling people, I said, don't let these jokers talk you out of not taking your retirement. You know they do. They try to bully Christians, saying you're taking socialism. I'll tell you that. No, you're paying your retirement. Something that helps. Yes, you should probably have that say. But he tells this church, he says, don't let them talk you out of not taking your retirement. You earned it. He's the only one I've ever heard preach it right. All these other jokers, they don't know what they're talking about. It's not a welfare program. It's your retirement. And it's not for some teacher down the road. Like they had this case for killing Grandma that Bill Gates was spewing. It's not for some teacher down the road. No, it is your retirement. They got to work on their retirements. You see what I'm saying? People just don't know what they're talking about. And I think some people, even if they don't know what to talk about, they want to keep the lie going because they got some agenda behind telling the lie. You know what I'm saying? They don't want the public to know the truth about Social Security. They got some agenda behind it. Either they're wanting to just keep all their money themselves and not wanting to be taxed, and that's fine. They got some agenda. And maybe they shouldn't have to just pay it. But if you're paying it in, you should get it. And you shouldn't be beat out of it. And they try every which way but Sunday to beat you out of it. Steal it from you. Steal your pension. Steal your retirement. It's not the community's, it's yours. You're not working for the community, you're working for you. Now they force you to take it out. Now that's, like I said, that should be open for discussion. And if they ever attempt to cut mine off, I'm going to fight them on it. Because, see, I know the truth about what it is. You can't lie to me. I know what it is. I was explaining what it was. I'm not one of the idiots that don't know how it works. I'm not one of the dumblings out here that don't know how it works. It's an insurance policy. It's for your retirement. Or your left behinds, if they meet the qualification. Usually it's your wife, your spouse. Husbands and wives, you don't have to say the word your spouse. Then your husband or your wife. We live in a different world today. Now, if you have children that meet the qualifications, and I met them, they have to meet and you never can get married or anything too, by the way. I've got that book in there. They gave that to me when they switched me over from my father to my mother's disability, to my father's retirement plan, or his plan. That was the only way they could cut it out. You either got married, or you suddenly became able to work. You didn't meet the requirements of disability. Those are the only two conditions that could be cut out. Citizens, you know, that's an attack on, what did God say? He said it was good. They're attacking marriage. So you could say that's an evil woe there. They're attacking marriage. They're saying you can't get married. That on the spouse, because they're married into another man's family. But when you're say your parents, say you got it off your mother or your father. Your mother was the breadwinner and your father didn't work. Because there are senses like that. They are disabled men out here. Their wives are their breadwinner. Your child status is never going to change. When you marry status, now that changes, but your child status don't change. You're always going to be that man's and woman's child. And in the future, you're going to have other stuff. They're already talking about embryos and male stomachs. And so we're going to have other conditions. There's going to be future things that are different. But at the current time, you're always going to be your mama and your daddy's child. Or your test tube baby. If you're test tube baby. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to be inclusive here. I'm trying to really be inclusive here. I'm talking. You're always going to be your mama and your daddy's kid. Nothing's going to change that. Now when you marry another man or woman, if you're in a relationship and you get married to somebody different, then you become that person's family. But if you're a child, you're not gonna. Of course, I probably don't have any intentions of marrying anyway. I always keep to myself anyway. That's why I don't really get too concerned with the church issue with me, because I'd be alone in church, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm alone where I go. I don't trust people. And I never let that go. No matter where I'm at, I have people I see that I like, and I have friends with them, and I get to trust those people. But I'm still keep people at a distance. Even when I'm at places, I'm alone. I'm usually sitting at my table. If they come up and speak to me, I speak to them. If I'm at the family reunions, I was that way. I was that way at family reunions. My cousin, me and him was close. Because he always, a lot of them didn't make the effort, but he always made the effort to come and speak to me. And then when we got on the internet, we became chat partners for a few years up until he died. He died in 2007. So me and him chatted in emails. Sometimes he only caught me about 2 times on the instant message thing. Several times. I mean, it was a few times. Me and him was on at different times, so we didn't really chat that way much. We did several times. Me and him was real close because he would actually come up and spark conversations with me. But if I didn't, I was in my corner, but it wasn't us being rude. That's just me. See, that's why I don't really frown too much on me not being in church, because I know I'm just going to be lonely old me even if I'm in the church. I'm going to be still me. You know, that's what they talk about. That's the reason God wanted you in the church, is so you was in your gathering. Now it would be good because you'd be there amongst people and they could pray for you and all that. The old me, I'd be sitting in my corner. Sitting in my dark corner, as that guy told me in the chat room all them years ago. Go find your rage, sit in the dark corner. I'm a lonely man. I guess I'll be that way to the day I die. Or we're taking up morning. And that will eventually happen. I don't know if it happens at the end or like all these people has theories on when it'll happen. I don't get involved with that. I don't know. I hear some good points on all sides. I hear pros and cons of a rapture and all this other stuff. And some sound plausible and some don't. And I've heard the post and beginning and this and that. And I have come to the conclusion I don't know, God knows. And that's how I'm keeping it. And I don't rule it out, because you don't want to be not ruling it out, because if you don't rule it out, and it happens and you wasn't looking for him, he's not coming. So you don't want to just completely, I just leave it. I'll keep watching for it. And he knows when it'll be. And if he did have to go through it, he'd probably find some way he got us through this crap we went through. And if he was on his side, and if he wasn't, I think it's got to be soon no matter what. All of it's got to be soon, including the judgment. Because it's looking like it's building to that. And no other time, you can look in history, man. All you got to do is crack open the history book. There was a time that was written about that was that bad. It's in the Bible. And even further study the book of Enoch. And we ain't even there yet, because like that pastor was preaching on Sunday morning, you're still seeing a man come in or a woman every once in a while and repenting. During those days, there's no days of repentance. So we're still not quite there yet. People comes down to the altar. They didn't come down to the altar. You know what they did? They stood out and went, hey, hey, look at him. He's building a boat. What does he need a boat for? He ain't around no water. Hey, hey, 150 years. And then finally, let us in, let us in, let us in. God already told him to close the boat. sin the birth pains. Any wise man will tell you that. You sin the birth pains. That don't mean it's over yet. That just means you sin the birth pains. But you know what? I mean, I'm thinking about even, you know, I'm not trying to get into a theological conversation by playing a game of crime. But if you really think about it, what is he saving you from? I mean, this is my question to the people that argue with the rapture theory. I mean, yeah, he saved you from hell, but wouldn't there be something else he'd probably be saving you from too? Of course it could be. I mean, our days are like toil, some of us. And some of us are blessed and we don't have the toil that some people have. And others are toiled worse than others. I look at that question when I'm thinking about the whole, I just think of the Holy Spirit. I mean, do you ever think about the term saved? Is it just hell? Or did he save you from other things too? So that's my question. I mean, eternal hell, I mean, that is something really to be saved from. But, I mean, wouldn't that promise apply to some other things? I mean, from what I can tell, it looks like when you read the words, it sounds like the people that were there are people that were post. And that's just from what I can read. Now, I could be wrong somewhere. In other words, I'm open to the discussion. I haven't decided either way. I'm open to the discussion. And I'm not even particularly arguing with either side. I'm just saying I'm open to the discussion. You see, I have some thoughts too about the term saved. What all is it saving you from? This is about ready. I didn't mean to go that complaining. At least you are talking about God. He didn't like murmurers and complainers, and I know he don't like me too well because I do it, and I do it in perplexity with vulgarities and everything else, and I know he definitely hates that. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see y'all next time. What's so bad is I know it. That means it really is sin. But when I'm going through it, I don't think about it till after it's went through with. And I'm laying back later and I'm thinking, or sitting back or whatever. But last night I was sitting there and I was thinking, Lord, I sure did handle this day long. I need some forgiveness right now, Lord. But I don't even... That's me. I'll see y'all next time. But there is good news to that, even though you get the feeling like that. What did he say when they asked him about the... Should I give my brother 77 times? He said 77 or 77 times 77.
Or the second or the sixth. But opportunity LD. Come on over to Benny's Original Motor Works and I'll lay it out for you.
Different call. I'm hungry though. I guess I'll have to. I wish I could leave it on and not get off. It won't be there when I come back. That's that apartment. I hate that come up right when I'm just hungry. I'm sick. I hate leaving. But I don't know what to do because it's about breakfast time. I'm hungry anyway. Get up.